The other evidence we have in the last couple of days is confirmation that 3 individuals at the Wuhan Institute got sick in November of last year, sick enough to be in the hospital from a virus that was previously undisclosed. They worked in the Wuhan Institute. We're told this came from the wet market lab, from exotic animals, but not one animal tested positive for the virus. So we have an amendment we're hoping that will be adopted by this body that says gain-of-function research, as defined by the NIH in 2014, will not be permitted in China. We will not fund it with American dollars. But it's like so much waste in government, I think there's no reason to be sending any money to China for research. They're a rich country. For goodness sakes, we're worried about them outcompeting us, stealing our intellectual property, and then we send them millions of dollars to do research. Why don't they spend their own money? And do we trust them enough? Are they open enough to tell us what's going on in the lab that we want to give them money? I think without question they have not shown this. And now we're finding out that people were sick in the lab in November. There's a great deal of circumstantial evidence now that NIH money went to the Wuhan Virology Institute. There's a great deal of evidence, at least suggesting that the pandemic may have started there. We don't know for certain. I'm not saying that it did, but there is evidence now that suggests that it might have. Number one, there is no animal host for COVID-19. We have not found, of the thousands of animals we tested in the wet market, none of them had COVID-19. When you take COVID-19 and you try to infect bats, which is where most coronavirus come from, what do you discover? You discover that COVID-19 is actually not very well infected in bats. The bats don't catch it very easily. It seems as if COVID-19 is most adapted for humans. But if it came from animals, shouldn't there be an animal host that is readily infected by this? No more money should flow to China for research on gain of function, which means increasing the virulence or pathogenicity or the transmissibility of COVID virus to humans. So I urge this body to adopt my amendment, which says from here on out, China doesn't get any money to create superviruses in a lab, and we should continue to investigate this because 3 million people have died worldwide. We've disrupted the entire world's economy over a virus. If it came from a lab, we need to know it, and it needs to be fully investigated.